Hello, welcome to Check It Out with Rich. As you know, I bought a new truck, and with the new truck came the new bed cover, and I also got a toolbox. And the next thing I needed to get was a new hitch. I was up in the air as to what hitch to get, and this fell into my lap for a price that I'm not going to tell you what I got it for. You wouldn't believe me if I told you. So we are going with the Andersen Ultimate Gen 3. Okay, this is part number 3220. It is capable of 24,000 pounds and 4,500 pounds tongue weight. So that's pretty good. That's well within our limits of our camper. Okay, the things you're going to need for this is a torque wrench, a 15/16 socket, a 1/4 inch Allen to 1/2 inch drive, because you'll need to torque this down also. And I have a 15/16 wrench that I don't think I'm going to use, but I got it here just in case. The other thing you're going to need is a screwdriver to get the plastic cap off where the ball goes in the bed of the truck. Okay, so next thing to do is for me to get my butt inside the bed of the truck. Okay, I'm going to take this cap off. And then I'm going to put the ball in. And that's it, the ball is in. Okay, I got the ball in. So my next thing I want to do is, this is a chain plate. We're just going to put that right over the ball. And it's going to rattle around, but we'll be all right. Okay, now the next thing, this is your square coupler tube. We're going to pull this hitch pin out, take the pin out, and then there's a lot of threads here. I already backed it off a lot, so take that out. Oh. Now there are two washers here. One is metal, and the other one is plastic, which acts like a anti-friction ring. So then we want to slide this inside this hole here. There's some set screws here. You'll probably have to back off a little bit to get this in. But it just goes straight in, put the bolt in, and that's it for now. And then this will set on top of the ball. Okay, if you look down here, there is a little arrow that says tailgate, and it's pointing that way, so you know which way to put it on. And it also has some handholds here for lifting. Now, I just weighed this with the coupler in, the ball in, everything here. It weighed at 43 pounds. So let's get this placed on the ball. Makes it nice and easy. And it's on. And then we want to take our pin. Wait, hold on. Take my pad for the knee. And then put the pin in. And then the hitch pin. And then we want to tighten this bolt up, get it snug. Now Andersen makes a, I think it's a 1/4 inch pad, rubber pad that goes underneath here. And it has a hole in the center for the ball. It's $100. I think it's a lot for a piece of conveyor belt, but I talked to other owners of this. Some put a pad down, some didn't. If I have an issue with it, I'll get something underneath there. I think $100 is a little too much. Okay, so like I said, I have this snug up. So what you want to do is you want to pretty much use the grooves here in the bed of your truck to square it up. And we don't look too bad there. Okay, now that you got it squared up to where you want it, we're going to tighten this up to 60 pounds. Okay, after you get that set to 60 pounds, you're going to do the same thing to these set screws on the front side here. And we're going to do them evenly. Okay, so we got 60 pounds here, 60 pounds on each of the set screws. Okay, I'm not sure where I'm going to need this ball set at. I'm going to set it for the middle position. So we do that. And then there's one hole here, and then you have multiple, I don't even know if it'll hit the bottom. No, it won't hit the bottom. So you have two positions. So I'm going to set it here. Then while we're driving, I'll figure out if I need to drop it down one. Okay, now in the front here for the ball, they do have a set screw, but they don't list any torque rating or anything for it. So we're just going to give it a good tightening, and that's it. Okay, that's all it takes to put this in. Take it out, just reverse. You loosen up your two set screws, loosen up your top bolt here, and then pull the hitch pin and pull the pin out and lift it right out, no problem. Okay, next thing I want to do is I want to put the chains on the chain plate down here. Okay, you have two options for your chains. You can hook your chains up here to the hitch plate, or you can hook it up to your kingpin. If you hook them up to your kingpin, you're gonna have to hook this up so they're not hanging down real far. And I'm gonna hook them up here just for one reason. Trying to reach the hook back here is gonna be pretty hard. So I'm gonna go opposite. When I disconnect, I'll lay the chains down here, and then when we connect back up, I'll make sure the chains are out here where we can easily grab them and hook them up to the mounts on the kingpin. All right, so let's get this opened up here. Okay, all right, I'm gonna put the clevis through here. Oh, I wanna go the other way. Put the clevis through here, put that on, tighten her down. Now, if you want, you get a channel lock or something to tighten this up. So let's get the other one done. Okay, so now when we're ready to hook up, we'll drop the tailgate, lay the chains like that, and then it's a lot easier to put the chains on instead of trying to reach into here. Okay, we're all done here. Next, we're going to go put the kingpin coupler block on the camper. Okay, first thing we have to do is take this grease plate off. It will not work with this on. Okay, now this is the coupler block, and it is going to go over your kingpin. But the first thing we have to do is take these bolts out. And then since we're adding chains to this, we're going to use different bolts. So what we want to do, slide that right over it. Take a longer bolt. Now, on this side here where your cable is for your pin pull, you want to come in through this side. And then put this one on this side. I'll show you why in a second. Okay, so we want to put a flat washer on, a lock washer, and then put that on. Now, had we put it in the opposite way here, this would get in the way of your chains. So let's get this on the other side. Okay, next thing we want to do is tighten these up. Okay, so let's get this side first. Now, they don't give you a torque rating or anything. They said to snug them up. If you go super tight, you will crack this plastic. Now, they also did say you don't need this plastic on for the coupler to work. All right, that's good. And I angled these so that they're going to be more in line with the chain when the chain comes down to the truck. Okay, now you can have this in two different positions. You can have it like that, which will actually bring your truck closer to the camper, or like this, which will bring your truck further away from the camper. So what we got to do now is we got to get a measurement here, center that up, and then we want to go from the center of the ball back to here, which is, let's say, 28 inches. All right, now, so what we want to do here is we want to measure from the center of the ball to the edges of the bed and the tailgate to make sure that we're underneath that 28 inch. And we got room to spare. And we got a lot to spare there. So we'll be okay with the way that's set up, and which would be good. That'll keep us a little further from the truck that don't have to worry about the tailgate hitting, or we be able to get in there with the tailgate down to hook up. So let's go back over there. Okay, next thing you want to do is make sure you're squared up. So we'll give it a little look-see here. It doesn't look too bad. And then underneath there's 4 set screws we have to tighten with a 1/4 inch Allen, and they say it has to be 2 inches. Okay, now they give you this spacer. This would go in here if you have room. So I don't have enough room here for this to fit, so we're not going to use it. But we'll go ahead and get this, just get these set screws just touching. Okay, I have them just touching. I'm going to check it for square again, make sure we're all right, then we'll get the torque wrench. Okay, so when you tighten these up, you want to go in an X pattern. So we'll just give each one a little bit. And I forgot if I mentioned it, these are 40 pounds. We'll just go over them again. Okay, that's it. Okay, now when we take this for a ride, I'm going to stop probably about a half hour in. It's going to be a pain in the butt, but I'm going to disconnect, recheck the torque, and check the torque there. And then once we get to where we're going, I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, yeah, it's a good idea with anything that needs torque to check it as often as you can. Okay, so next thing we want to do is the ripcord. Okay, I'm not 100% sure where I want this. I even asked Lexi and she said, let's do it temporarily for right now, and then we'll figure it out as we go and use it a few times. But for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and put it right here. And it should all be good here. They say to avoid any sharp bends or anything in it. So for right now, we're just going to put it here. All right, so I got this mounted. Like I said, we're going to play with it for a little bit and see how we like it. Might move it around. I don't know. We'll see. But if I do keep it here, I'm going to move it up here and put 2 screws in. The way this works is when this handle is in, the pin is secured onto the ball. And then you give it a 1/4 turn, you pull it out. Now it pulls that pin back. You can go ahead and either come off the hitch or go onto the hitch. And then you could give it a 1/4 turn and it locks it. It's not moving. And the same way with going in, 1/4 turn, locked, it's not coming out. Now, I didn't see anything, I'll have to look at the book again, but I didn't see anything in here for lubrication or whatever, so I'll look and see and put it in the description. Okay, now the last step for installation is I have a Rota-Flex, and then since this pivots, that's no good with the Andersen hitch, so I ordered this off of Andersen, and these are 2 plates that are going to go front and back, and then bolted together. Now, the directions say to find out which gap is smaller, front or back, and then to put the shorter one in that small gap. And then your taller one will go on this side. Now, the part I'm confused at, this isn't fitting inside this gap. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it on, do a little bit of research, and see if that's okay or not. But what you wanna do, you wanna take the bolt, put it through the back piece, put it through the front one, put the washer on, and then the lock nut. And then when you put it on, make sure you go through here. Now we're gonna do the same thing to the other side. All right, that was pretty tight getting on. So let's go ahead and put the washer and lock nut on. And then we're gonna tighten them down. Now keep in mind, these aren't high quality bolts, so don't go super tight with them. Okay, I got this on. I'm a little confused about how it goes together, but I'm gonna call them tomorrow. I'm gonna take a picture of it, call them tomorrow, find out what the deal is, and then we'll get back into this video. Okay, I contacted Andersen and they told me to grind down this piece of steel in the front here. I seen on YouTube that some people just ground out here in the corners, but they told me to grind down both sides evenly. That way there you have the same amount of spacing on the bolt holes. It took a while. I think I took off about over an 1/8 inch on each side. That's how narrow this gap was. And I kind of think for this thing was 50 bucks. I think for having to pay $50 for something, then you have to modify it to fit is a little messed up, but oh well, what are you gonna do? Okay, so we used this once to tow. We towed here to French Creek, then our truck broke down, so we're kind of stuck here, but it towed real nice. There was no chucking, no bucking, no nothing. The only downside with it that I've seen so far is you have to raise it up so high to mount onto the hitch. If you're in a very bad spot that it's very uneven, it might be a little difficult getting your nose high enough to get onto the hitch. Okay, the one thing, like I said in the truck, I hooked the chains up to the plate on the truck so that when you back up, you have to stop short and reach in and hook the chains up. When I initially hooked up, I pulled in all the way, then I had to climb in the, lay down in the back of the bed to hook the chains up. So that's just gonna be a little bit of a learning curve. Okay, so hopefully, I like this hitch, but hopefully this helps somebody out for the install. And once again, thanks for checking it out. We'll see you all next time. Bye. Bye.